there's definitely a naivety out there with the majority of organisations that this isn't something they need to do. And it absolutely is. Now, I appreciate that Tracey and I are on the side of the, we are exposed to this all the time. So it's very much front and centre of what we do and why we created this training package to enable people to understand a little bit more. But I haven't done any training, and I know Tracey can say this as well, that people have walked away and not learnt anything or not actually thought about stuff. So, we cover stuff in the training that people just have these mini light bulb moments. They think, oh gosh, didn't even consider that, didn't even think about that. And that's the whole point of this. This is about empowerment and enablement. This is not about, being critical of people who don't understand it and being judgmental. This is about coming to our world, have a little bit of a look around and understand what the challenges are in terms of your workforce and your people, and what a difference it will make if you can actually harness some support around them.
The biggest
Okay.
one is throwing the idea of time off for IVF into the family friendly policies or the maternity policies, because actually they are so triggering and so hurtful for so many people who are still trying to have a family when they're forwarded on to the policies that have to remind them of what they don't yet have. I think that for me is one of the
Yeah.
ones that always stands out because it happened to me. So I guess it's the one I will always remember. But also, I guess the point I made a few minutes ago, that fatigue that my line manager had when after a couple of rounds of IVF, we still hadn't reached our end goal. It was that sort of tiredness of, aren't you
Yeah.
done yet? Can you not just come fully back to work now? We need you here, as if I was
Yeah.
doing it on purpose. And I think Claire again mentioned it brilliantly earlier when she said, this isn't a case of, okay, we'll support you with some time off to go through that one cycle and then everything will be fine. It often doesn't work like that when the chances of success are what, 25% for every cycle. The likelihood
Mm.
is it's not going to happen first time round. It was 5 rounds for me. So actually, I kind of do get it. If I'd have been my manager, I might have thought, really, we're over 2 years down the road now and you still need some time off. But yeah, it doesn't happen
Mm.
overnight. This is a long-term relationship of support that you have to go through with an individual. If they're going to be brave enough to open up to you as their employer, what's going on for them and what support they need, then that building of trust between the two of you as employer and employee is integral, but it can't come with limits. Yes, there needs to be give and take on both sides. The employee needs to appreciate the support they're getting and give as much back as they can. But yeah, it's about accepting that this is
Mm.
a policy and a process for the long term, not for just tomorrow.
What we often get as a as responses is, I was lucky, I had a great line manager. And do you know what, this ought not to be about luck. This is about, balancing those life challenges. So we don't have the same view on ill health diagnoses. We don't have the same view on bereavement. We don't have the same view even on mental health. So even 10 years ago, mental health wasn't discussed in the workplace. And then more recently, menopause. So there is loads of training packages on menopause now, and it's well talked about. It's very central to a lot of policies. And I sit in work and I see people talking about menopause. There's policies, there's support groups, there's all this sort of stuff. Yet fertility is kind of in the background, sort of hiding, just still not at the forefront. And actually, fertility is over a longer period of your working life than potentially menopause is.